Hello, I'm just trying to set up the live. If you are here, you are still welcome. If you are here, you are still welcome. Sorry, my face is not showing you at the moment. Sorry, my face is not showing at the moment, but I'm just trying to set up the live. So if you are here, you are still welcome. There's no problem. Don't go away. My face will show in any time moment for now. Can you hear me? Hope you guys can hear me. Don't go away, guys. So you just stay. Just stay. Sorry. I know you're starting out rough. Well, don't blame me. This is my first class, so I'm still trying to figure out things. So yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, you guys, for being here. Wow, thank you guys for being here. I did. Let me see. Sorry, I will share the link to the live right now. Just setting up these stuffs. So you guys, please, if you are here, try to be capturing highlights. Let me off this fan. Try to be capturing highlights from the class, so we can have some highlights for the class. If you get what I'm saying. Sorry, let me off my fan so it won't keep making this noise. Sorry, guys. Shit. Just give me a second, please. Sorry. How is you guys doing now? How are you guys doing? No, my face will pop up at anytime soon. Just setting up this. Okay. Where is this? Hope everyone can see me. Shit. Shit. Sorry, guys. Hope everyone can see me now. uh, Welcome everyone to the live. Where is this chat? Sorry, guys. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining this. Thanks for joining this live. Thanks for joining this live, or rather, not this live. Thanks for joining this class. So we're going to be walking through greatness. I can see you. I can see you. Greatness. Greatness. I can see you. So welcome to the class, everyone. Welcome to the class. So today we're going to be talking about the basics of logo design, because anything you're trying to learn in this life, you must just learn the basics, the foundation on what's. Sorry, 1 minute. So let's start again. So welcome to the class, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope everything is going well with hope everything is going well with you. So we started this live earlier than we planned, but it's for the best. So today we're going to be talking about the basic of logo design. Today is our day one, so we have to start from the basics. So I said in so with that, yes, this is what I need. Everyone, okay, you guys are from Pakistan. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this. If you are here, that means you really want to. No, it's not registered. If you are here, you really want to learn what logo design is all about. So let's just get straight away to the class. So this class today is designed. This class today is designed for you to help you to understand what logo design is really all about. What logo design is really all about. So we're going to get right to it. So what we'll be covering today is what logo design is, types of logos, different between. What we'll be covering today is what is logo design. Of course, you have to really know what you're doing. Good evening, everyone. You have to really understand what logo design is, because if you don't really understand what logo design is, you're just designing for designing's sake. You don't really have a clear path where. And we'll also be covering the types of logo design. We have different type of logo design. Many beginners think we only have one type of logo design, but we have different type and different style of logo design. And also we'll be covering difference between a logo and a brand identity as seen in the screen. We'll be covering the difference between a logo and a brand identity, because they are not only designers, even business owners do get complicated. That thinking only a logo can save their business. No, you also need a clear direction, a clear meaning of your brand and what you are doing. And we'll also be covering the what makes a good and a bad logo. Of course, there are things that make a bad logo, and there's also things that make your logo look perfect and look nice. And lastly, I'll be giving you some tips on how to be a better designer, and not tips on how to be a better designer and not to avoid mistakes in your career. Hope everyone is with me. So let's get started on it. What is a logo? Because we have to really define. You have to really break down this, so everyone can really understand what logo is actually all about. Even though you're a business owner here, you need to really understand what logo is for and what the main purpose of logo design. Yeah. So logo design is a visual identifier for a brand. Hear the word visual and identifier for a brand. It helps people identify, remember, and recognize a brand instantly among others. You got what I'm trying to say? And logo design is also a business tool. That's why you see most brand, they must have a logo. They must have a logo. That is a significant, is a main. What's the word? Is a just as if, okay, you want to own a restaurant, you must you must be selling food in the restaurant. So that's how logo design is. You must just have a logo or a brand. You get? If as we said, a logo design is a visual identifier of a brand for you to identify. Oh, this is this brand. Oh, this is this brand. Oh, this is Amazon. Oh, this is Tesla. You get? with the with the this thing displayed in your screen here, with the dialogue displayed in your screen here, right? You can see I blurred away. You can see I blurred away some logos, but your brain can still tell which brand is that. You get? Your brain can still tell, oh, the brand up there is Coca-Cola. I can see the shapes and the color of it. That's why we say it's a visual identifier of a brand. It's for it to help you differentiate this brand is from this brand. Also, branding too do help you identify which brand is which. You get? So with this dialogue here, you can see, even though the logo is blurred, you can still tell which brand is that. So that's where logo design comes in. Is a visual identifier of a brand. Is an essential business is an essential business tool for a brand. That's why any brand that is always want to open, they must almost always look for a logo designer or a brand designer in general to give them that to give that brand to give that brand meaning visually. Of course, they already uh, nice one. Of course they already have a their what their brand was supposed to do, but without any visual, people can't really relate with the brand. Really, people can't really say, oh, this is what this brand is all about. Oh, this is what this brand can do. Oh, this is the color of this brand. Like, let's use McDonald's now. If anywhere you see a red and a anywhere you see a red and a white bucket, chicken bucket without the logo, or without the logo, you know that yes, this is McDonald's. So that's the power of branding. That's the power of branding too. So let's cut the chase and move on. Of course, we also have. Thank you for liking my lightning. I'm just saying a comment. Thank you for liking my lightning. So now, what is logo not? Everything has an opposite meaning. Everything has an opposite meaning. So now, what is logo not? A logo is not a whole brand. As I said earlier, a logo is just a visual identifier of a brand, but it's not the whole brand. You get? So you should differentiate that. Once someone comes to you, or you are a business owner here, and you are requesting for a logo, just know a logo won't be enough for your brand to actually be marketable. You should also have a brand identity that backs it up, that give you the foundation to it. So a logo is not a whole brand. Of course, it's not a flyer. Of course, it's not a poster, and of course, it's not in a place to explain the business, what this business is all about. That's why every time I do try to explain what a logo is for. A logo is for to a designer, right? To a beginner. What makes a good logo is for it to be clean and memorable. So trying to put everything that the brand is all about is a very weak, brand, and very weak thinking. So try to try to try to be simple, because your logo need to also work in black and white. You get? Your logo needs to also work in black and white for it to be powerful, for it to be memorable. So your logo is not there to tell the full story about your brand. That is the work of a brand identity. A logo is just there to identify among others. So that's why you need to, when designing a logo, you don't need to be designing a cliche. that you don't need to be designing a cliche brand. You get. So let's jump into the next slide. I hope everyone is understanding what I'm saying in this brand. But I would really love for you guys to really break down what logo design is to. I would really love to break down what logo design is to everyone. So as a beginner from this class, you will also be a more confident logo design. You know, when they say confident logo designer, it means you know what you are doing, and it means you know what you are doing. So you not mean confident logo designer, even though you don't know what you are doing. Even though you don't know what you are doing, you will say you are confident. No, you have to know what you are doing. That's why the title of this class is from a beginner to a more confident logo designer. Anyone that you see that is confident, you know that yes, they really know what they're doing. You get. But if you are confident and you don't know what you're doing, that one is on another level. So yeah, is it that know what you're doing? So why I'm jumping in so why I'm jumping in straight to the difference between why I'm jumping straight to the difference between a logo and a brand identity is that most times, even as business owner, not only designers, even me myself, I do find I was having a hard time differentiating what a logo and a brand identity is, because I was like, it's not the same typography, it's not the same color that is still using the logo that we'll be using other stuff. But as I keep building my career, as I keep going, I keep understanding what logo design is and the difference between logo design and brand identity, and also know the deliverables I'll also give my clients, my customers. You get. So sorry for let's dive into this. So what is the difference between a logo and a brand identity? You get. A logo is just a visual symbol, as we said earlier, a mark that people use to recognize your business from others. You get. A brand from people to recognize from your brand to others. That's why you can see maybe two brands can have the same color, can have red and black. Let's use red and black. Can have red and black, but they'll be like, oh, which is which. So that's also where a logo too comes in. So let's say if there's a bucket here that is red and let's say a chicken bucket now that is red and black, and another chicken bucket that is red and black, and maybe they have the same pattern, and there was no logo in that. So let's say, well, if they now switch the bucket up, and like you now see, like you now say, oh, this is for brand A, this is from brand B. And again, that's why I always advise young brand designers to always be different from trends, because it's not because of they say okay, not because they say okay, it's a logistic company that you. It's not said because they say it's a logistic company that you use yellow, you use. Yeah, many logistic company do use yellow, and not because they say okay, this is a tech brand, you have to use blue for it. All tech brands must not be blue, so try to be different. Try to be different from that. So now, what is a brand identity, or what is a brand? A brand is the entire experience people feel with a business, how it looks and how it sounds. Remember what I said earlier when we start with this class, that a logo is just the identifier, but a brand is there to define how it looks and how you feel. So this includes logo, color, tone of voice, customer experience, and reputation. So let me just break it down into simple terms for you guys to understand what the difference between a logo and a brand identity. So the different is right. A logo is like my face now. A logo is like my face. anywhere you go, you're seeing my face. You'll know, oh yes, this is Collins, or this is Amazing Graphics. But now, once I come out and speak, or once my video do, or my personality on my video, that what we call a brand identity. So let me say it again. A logo is someone's. I'm using someone's a person as an example. A logo is someone's face. You recognize this person's face. Oh yes, that is the person. So now, branding or brand identity is how the person speak, how the person attitude, or how the person communicates. So that is the difference between a logo and a brand identity. You get? I hope everyone is following me on this class, and I hope everyone is getting what I'm saying. Please don't forget to capture highlights of this class. I'll just don't forget to capture highlight on this class, and you can send it directly to my DM. You can send it directly to my DM. Capture the highlights of this class, or even video or anything. So let's get to the second. So let's get to the second chase. So now, what are the types of logo? Initially, we have 7 main types of logo and we're going to be breaking it down one by one, and where it's used for, and how it's used for, and how you can identify which type of logo is that, and how you can identify which logo is that, or what type of logo is that, and where it should be used, and why it should be used. So let's dive right into it. I really don't want this class to be long, so let's just dive into it. So now, our logo. This logo is actually used when a company just wants its initials. That is when it's recognized. Like you see, the example of this kind of logo now. You see HP, LG, PM, PlayStation, Hobo, and McDonald's. These are monogamy logo. Monogamy logo is made using 2 to 3 letters of the brand initials of the name to turn into a simple symbol that represents the brand. You get? So that's why you see that, okay, HP, you can see just the 2 initials of the brand. HP, just the 2 initials of the brand. LG, 2 initials of the brand. PlayStation is 2 initials of the brand. Then you have HBO. This is where the 3 initials comes in. Hope you understand what the meaning of monogamy logo. Monogamy is only when a brand initials is used on a logo for the use on the logo. So that is what we call a monogamy. So most times companies that use monogamy logos are companies that have long name, and they just want to shorten it into a simple logo. You see a simple logo. So that's why you see most times on your laptop HP, you can only see HP. On your TV, you can see LG, PlayStation. You can only see the. So yeah, sorry that I'm checking in the comments, and it's the other side of my other side of my. I hope this is clear now. A monogamy logo is when they use the initials, just 2 to 3 initials of the brand initial, 2 initials of the brand name to create a simple logo. Sorry that I'm breaking up. I hope everyone is really taking note of this class, because I really ask you guys to take note of this class, because we're gonna have some interactive session. Shit. Sorry, guys. Yes, if you are not here, you this is a YouTube live, so you can rewatch it. If in case you forget something later on when designing a logo, you need or you need a clarity on something, you can still come back. You can still come back to this class. So someone just asks, is monogamy logo the easiest logo? For me, I won't say any logo is the easiest logo, because you have to be creative in anything you're doing. You get. So you don't have to be looking for the easiest. You have to be looking for the one that works for the brand. You have to be looking for the one that works for the brand, not the one that's easiest for the brand. You get. You can have a simple logo, and the brands actually need a wordmark logo. So you get. So now we're coming to the word. Now we're coming to the wordmark logo. So what are wordmark logo? Wordmark logo uses the full brand name. The full brand name designed in a unique font. That's why you mostly see FedEx, just the brand name that is there. There's no mark. There's nothing. Dell, just the brand name. There's no, just the brand name. Coca-Cola, the same thing. Google, Disney, Canon, all of them used a brand name. That is what we call a wordmark logo. Most companies that use wordmark logos are mostly playful brand, like let's say bakery, restaurants, and so and so forth. Mostly fun brands that usually use wordmark logo. But it's not all fun brand that have to be a wordmark logo. Yeah. Always remember to be different from trends. Yes, for you guys that's asking for the PDF for this, I will share it. I will share it in the Facebook post. I will share it in the Facebook post. You get. So don't be afraid. This PDF will also be shared to you guys. The resources will also be shared with you guys. So in case you also want to go back to what I was saying and actually read through what I was saying, the PDF will be shared with you. So now the third type of logo we have is a pictorial mark. This one is the easiest to understand. One of the easiest to understand. The pictorial marks is a logo A pictorial mark is a logo that uses an image or icon. When people see the image, they immediately think about the brand. You get. So the example of that now is that, okay, let's say I sell the name of my brand is Bob. The name of my brand is Bob. My logo can just be a Bob, a school Bob. That's all. So when saying it's Bob, that is the name. Once you have seen the logo, you have seen the brand already. Yeah, you already think about the brand. So example of this is Apple. What is Apple's logo? Is a beating apple. So once you've seen the brand, you already know. Once you see the logo, you already know the brand. There's no need of Domino's. What did they use? A dice. Windows. What is the Windows logo? A window. So that was called pictorial logos. They use image or icon of their brand name. Target, also the same thing. What's that logo? Is a target icon. Twitter, the former what we call X now. What is the what is the icon there? Is a Twitter bird sent it with shell. What is that logo there? Is a shell. So pictorial logos are, most brands that use this type of logo are well known brand. If you check around, you know that is a well known brand that have been building for years now. Imagine me saying, okay, my imagine a new brand saying the name of my brand is clock. The name of my brand is clock, and they come and use a clock icon. Most people, that brand will not, if someone sees that just the clock, they will know it's the brand, because they have not yet built the brand up to that extent. Once you see an apple, even though you didn't see this apple, the beating apple, but once you see a vector of apple, your head is already going the brand apple, that is iPhone. You get, hope you're understanding how I'm breaking down step by step. So now, abstract marks, I won't lie, this is one of my best type of logo. If you go to my page, you see most of my logos are abstract marks, but I don't just use abstract mark because of it's a trend. I use it because that what works for the company, and due to the way my page is, customers that know that, oh, abstract logo can work very well with that brand, they will come to me. So you get, so abstract logos uses shapes or symbol that doesn't look like real objects. You get, abstract mark uses shapes or symbol that doesn't look like real objects. That is, if you see that logo now, you won't say, oh, this is a rock, or this is a clock, or this is a spoon. It does not use what looks real. You get. So these shapes are designed to represent the brand's idea. So that's why I love using this type of marks, and that's why brands like reaching out to me to this type of logo. These shapes are designed to represent the idea or meaning of the brand. Hope you get what I'm trying to say. So the example of that is the Swish, Nike, the Adidas logo, Pepsi, Toyota. You can see all these things you are seeing here is not a real life object that you can say, oh, what is the Nike Swish for, or what is the Adidas. You can replicate it with something that is in the real world. It just give the idea or the meaning of the brand. You get. So now, mascot logos. So now, mascots logos. This type of logos use like characters or illustration representing the brand. Most times are cartoon characters. Most like is facial character of the owner or the founder of the brand, and the character gives the brand a friendly and human personality. As I mostly say, if a brand wants to be friendly, or you want to be like interactive, you want to be human, if you want to have that friendly personality, they usually go for a mascot logo. Example of that, we have KFC, we have Pringles. If you hear both of this brand, oh yeah, these brands are friendly brand, nothing techy, nothing too serious, techy, nothing too serious. These brands are mostly on the friendly aspect of the market. Yeah. So now we're at about the second to last of. So now, what is combination? Now, name of this type of logos are combination marks. Combination marks. A combination mark logo uses text and symbol. The text and symbol can be used together, or separately. That's why you see, even most of my logos too are combination mark. You can use just the symbol or just the word mark. That what we call combination logo. It's the logo that uses a symbol and the text together. That's what we call a combination mark. Example of this is Amazon. Amazon use a smile symbol and the name Amazon, the text Amazon. You get. And again, MBA uses a someone that is delivering icon with the name MBA. And you know, these two things can stand most times. They can stand alone. You get. MBA symbol can stand alone. If you see that, you know, yes, this is MBA. The text alone too can stand alone. If you see that, you know, oh yeah, this is MBA. You get. If MasterCard and the rest. So that was to call combination mark. The combination of text and a symbol. That was to call combination mark. So now, emblem logos. An emblem logo has text and symbol placed inside a shape. Let me say that again. An emblem logo has a text and symbol placed in a shape, like a badge or a seal. You get. This type of logo often look traditional or official, and most brands that use emblem logo are mostly sports brand, and mostly brands that have long names. As I you see, this thing. Sorry, Real Madrid. I've forgotten. I'm not a football guy. I've forgotten the full meaning of Real Madrid. You normally see is like sporty clubs that use emblem logos the most. Even Bugatti too is an emblem logo. Manchester is an emblem logo. You get. Sorry guys, just taking out this. Say you love me. Sorry guys, I'm just taking a break from this. Just give me a minute. So now I hope we all know the main 7 types of logo. You see someone say Hala Madrid. I hope we know the sorry. Now I hope we all know the 7 type of logo we have. We have the word mark. We have the abstract logos. We have the emblem logo. We have the mascot logo. Remind me in the chat. We have the mascot logo. We have the word mark logo. Let me see if I'm missing any of them. And lastly, we have the pictorial marks. So that is the 7 types of logos we have. So now that we all know the types of logo we have, now what makes a good and what makes a bad logo? What makes a good or what makes a bad logo? Sorry guys, yes. So now let's get to it. So now, what makes a good and what makes a bad logo? So these are the key elements that makes a good logo. As I said earlier, if you're here when we started, as I said earlier, what makes a good logo? One of the things that make a good logo is being logo being simple, and if the logo can work in black and white. If the logo can work in black and white, it can work anywhere. So that's why I say your logo must be simple. What I said again, your logo must be simple. Your logo must be memorable. These are the key features that make a good logo. Your logo must be simple. Your logo must be memorable, relevant, versatile, and timeless. So we'll go into that one by one. So simple. Your logo must be simple that at first glance it can be recognizable. Not someone looking at your logo like is trying to tell, oh, what is this, what is this. There are too many things in your logo. You get what I'm trying to say. So memorable. Memorable. So what do you mean by your logo must be memorable? Okay, if they say look at the Apple's logo for 3 seconds, you now switch off the phone. Will you be able to draw that on paper, even though it must not be perfect? Will you be able to draw that on the paper? Yes, you'll be able to draw that, because why? It's simple and it's memorable. So that's why most times you see like a multi-billion-dollar company, and you see, oh, this logo, you'll be hearing this logo costs 500,000 dollars, not naira, $500,000, 1 million dollars. And you look at the logo, and you be like, I can design this. Why are they paying for that amount for this logo? Yes, they're paying for that amount of this logo because if you know the amount of research, the amount of structure that's. But most is agencies that do collect those kind of contracts. Most agencies, if you know the amount of structure, the amount of the reasoning behind those logos, you be like, yes, this logo is what. Example of that is Quizdo. I know most of you know Quizdo. Yeah, example of those is Quizdo. And your logo must be relevant. What do you mean by relevant? You must fit that brand. You get, if it must fit that brand. Not a fun restaurant coming to you say, okay, create me a logo for my brand, and is a fun brand, or is a fun restaurant brand. Let's just use those terms. You're not giving the brand an abstract logo. How does not match? That's what you mean by relevance. It must fit the brand personality and industry. For people to recognize that logo, it must fit the brand personality and industry. What they mean by relevance. So versatile. What they mean by versatile is that your logo must be scalable, must work in. What they mean by now we're in versatile. What they mean by versatile, that logo must be strong, it must be scalable, it must work in different places. Let's use Apple as an example. If you scale down Apple logo, you can still tell is the Apple's logo. If you put in a big billboard, you can still tell it's the Apple logo. If you change it to white, if you change it to black, if you change it to hash purple, you can still tell the logo can still come out. That's what they mean by your logo must be versatile. Your logo must be versatile. It must be flexible. Let me use the word. It must be flexible. You get. The last part of it is your logo must be timeless. What do you mean timeless? Your logo can withstand the test of time. Yes, of course. As times goes on, you have to do some tweaking to the logo to your brand. Let's use Pringles as an example. I wish I showed the diagram here. Let's use Pringles as an example. If you search up Pringles logo now, you can tell that from when they start back in the 90s and where they are now in the 20s, it's still the same logo. It's still the same. You can see it's just different what do they call it? Just different style, but it's still the same concept. So that's what they mean by your logo must be timeless. It must not stay. It must not just be part of a trend. You get, like, let's use when I mean part of a trend. Most, if you go on Twitter now, if you go online, most AI brands now, you see they're using that sparkly. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to put this together. I hope everybody can hear me. I hope everybody can see what I'm showing you in my screen. So let's go back to timeless. Your logo must not follow trends. If you can see, if you go on Twitter now, or search it up and you search AI logos, AI brand logos, you'll see that mostly they're using that star icon. I think one of the designers shared out on our page. You can see that they just use only they use always star icon. Even Gemini too is using the star icon. Your logo should be timeless. Your logo should tell a difference from its competitors. You get what I'm trying to say? I hope now everyone knows what makes a good logo. A good logo must be simple, memorable, relevant, versatile, and timeless. If you are designing a logo and your logo does not check each of these boxes, just know that that is not a good logo. Your logo must tell. Your logo must tick all of those boxes. So when designing a logo, you're like, oh yes, this logo is fine, it's amazing. Try and check the boxes. Is this logo simple? Check. Is this logo memorable? Check. Is this logo relevant? Check. Is this logo versatile? Check. Is this logo timeless? Check. If you check those boxes, know that you just designed a wonderful and clear logo for the brand. So now, what makes a bad logo? Remember, as we said earlier, everything that has positive must always have negative. What makes a bad logo? So now, what makes a bad logo? As I said earlier, everything that has, sorry, not positive, and everything that have negative this thing. Now, simple. What is the opposite of simple? Too complicated. What makes a bad logo? What makes a bad logo? If a logo is too complicated, if your logo is too complicated, is there's too many elements in your logo. That's automatically a bad logo. Let's say let's say let's look at the National Geographic logo now. What is National Geographic? They're all about wildlife. So now imagine National Geographic uses lion, uses bird, uses tree, uses land, saying, oh, because yes, we are National Geographic, because of our wildlife, we must use all those elements in our logo. No, they didn't use all that. But what did they use? Just a triangle. Just so not triangle, just a square or rectangle. Sorry, I'm skipping up. I'm skipping up. So so you see, National Geographic. If it was someone that someone that was not experienced, what they should have used? They should have used tree. They should have used lion. They should have used bird. They should have used fish, because we're trying to cover wildlife. You get. So, but what did they use? Just um a square. That's it. Just a square. A yellow square, or that man, not even a green square. A yellow square. So what so now the second criteria that make a bad logo is hard to read. I hope everyone is following me. So now let's move to hard to read. How to read. If your typography is not, what they mean by how to read, poor typography or on poor typ, you can have a wonderful mark, but your mark, your typography cannot be, sometimes it cannot be readable. Of course, some word mark they do style it, but if you look at those word marks, you can still call the names there. But if you do too much, if you carry your letter I like this, letter L like this, and go like this, sometimes they won't be readable at all. Sometimes they won't be readable. So try to make things easy for you. Try to make things simple. Being simple is not a crime. You get. Being simple is not a crime. So now what's the next criteria that make your logo a bad logo? It's not scalable. As I said before, it's not scalable. There are some I've forgotten this man's name. Chris Do actually interview him. Is They redesigned, I've forgotten the logo, the brand's name. But before, the logo was about three them some streams, not actually abstract trio like a normal trio, tree, stream, wildlife around it. But those kind of logos now, if you scale them down, you won't actually even see the meaning of the logo again. So your logo should always be scalable. Your logo should also be scalable. You get. Also be scalable, and it also can be work in black and white. So now the fourth thing that make your logo not a good logo is um following dependence. What, as I said earlier, following dependent. That means what that means is that following trends. As I explained previously, this mostly, or this tech brand, or this AI tech brands now, that using that star icon. You should not be following trend. You should explain what the brand is all about, not following trends. Not saying, oh wow, this is what is raining now, let us use it. No, your logo will not be different. Your logo should be different among others. That's why you see all these big brands. If you put them together, you see that that logos and branding are different from each other. So they tell different stories. You get. Lastly, lastly, no strategy behind your design. What I mean by that, no strategy behind your design is that you design based on personal tastes. Because you design, you like designing wordmark logos. You like designing wordmark logo, and wordmark logo does not work for that brand. You went on and designed a wordmark logo because of you yourself. You like wordmark logo. Note: a logo is not for you. A logo is for the brand. So always get that in your head. Don't say, oh wow, I like this style. I think no. Don't say I like. Ask yourself what works for the brand. Not I like. What works for the brand? That's what you put. That's what you always will be considering. Not just saying, oh, I think I like this shape. I like this shape. No, will this shape work for the brand, or will this shape actually solve the brand's problem? You get. So that's it. If this is what makes a bad logo. It's too complicated, hard to read, not scalable, following trends, and not strategic. That is the 5 things that make a bad logo. What are the common mistakes beginners make? What are the common beginner mistake in logo design? Don't don't forget, I was also a beginner, so I also passed through this. And as I passed through this, that's why I put this class together, for you to not to also pass through it brutally like me. You should always, that's why mentorship is always good in when starting a career. So you can step away from that mistake. Sorry. You can avoid some certain mistake that is avoidable, but in some cases, if you are if you are starting a career, there are some mistakes that you need to experience, because some lessons are learned from experience. So these are the common mistakes that designers do make when starting out in their career, or in the logo design career. Adding too many elements. As I said earlier, what makes a good logo design? Simple. So now, adding too many elements in a design, you want to put everything. Sometimes in my logo design, in my research phase, there are so many ideas I have in my head, or so many things I can put in that one logo. There are so many things I can put in that logo that will still make sense, but I'll say no, this does not work. These things need to be simple. It does not mean because, oh, that I can put this thing in this logo means I should put it. So if you even designing flyer, ask yourself, once you have designed this flyer, ask yourself, what can I remove from this flyer, and this flyer can still make sense. What can I remove from this logo, and this logo should make sense. You get. So not adding too many elements. Stop adding too many elements in a logo. So the next mistake that beginners don't make in logo design is overusing effects. Overusing effects. Most of these effects are, let's say, drop shadow, gradients, 3D effects. Just too many softwares, just because of the software allows it. So say, I always tell people, try to design your logo simple, because putting drop shadow, putting effects on a logo, there are some cases that it won't work. You get. So let's say your logo is based on gradients. That is the flow or the style of the logo is based on gradients. If they turn that logo to black and white, the main core of that logo won't show again. So you should always try to, if your logo works in black and white, that logo is good to go. But if it only works the way you design it, that is the gradients or the effects, that is not a good logo. You get, that is not a good logo. So the other mistakes that we are here, so you are here, so you know what I'll talk about. The other mistake that beginners do make is choosing random choosing fonts randomly. I also all these mistakes I committed them, so don't feel, oh, I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. All these mistakes I committed them, so don't feel I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. You get. So choosing too many fonts, choosing fonts randomly. Okay, I already have my mark. What fonts can go with this? You just go to your font gallery, you just pick anything. No, that's not how it works. Try to check. Okay, what fonts can go with this brand? What fonts can match with this logo and still connect, and the branding will be consistent? You get. Don't just say, oh, this logo is abstract. I can just pick this font. That's all. You send your logo to your clients. Even though they say, oh, I like it. Client, you are the professional here. It's not the client. You are the professional, so you should tell the client what works. This is an advice for you guys. Anytime you're working on a project, know that you are the professional, not the client that is the professional. So if you have that leverage, you will see that you start attracting high paying clients, not just random designers. So I say designers, not just random customers or clients. You get. You are the Just tell yourself, I'm the professional here. So if you have that mindset, you know that you are the one that know what works or what's good. But also be open to your client's opinion, so your client will also feel seen. If your client say, oh, put a stylish font in this. If the stylish font it works. If it does not work, let them know, sir, this does not work for this brand because of this so things. It does not work for your brand. Let them know the reason. If they say no, we still like it, yes, you tell them no, this does not work, and they still insist. That's when you have to put it. But if they just suggest, okay, put this font, and you just went to and you're a yes person, yes sir, yes ma, yes, you are not more the professional there. They are the one that tell you what to do. So another thing is designing without research. Designing without research. I always say this in my videos. If you go to my pages, I always say this in my videos. When you have received the briefing from a client, I always recommend you sending a questionnaire to your clients when you have read the briefing, right? Don't just say, oh, it's a tech brand, so tech brand, what work for tech brand? I'll choose a connecting node. That's not how logo design is. Even in my community, I always tell them that don't follow trend, follow what works what works for the brand. Make your researches. Don't just say because of is a tech brand, I'll be using those tech connecting nodes. You get. So make your research on a logo design before you even start sketching. How I normally do get how I normally do get my how I normally do get my concept is that I do search around the market. I see, oh, most people are using this thing. That means I should try to, even though I'm going the same direction, I should try to be different from it. Not them putting my logo and putting someone else's logo and it looks the same. You get. So about so the next mistake that beginners don't make is copying trends blindly. You get copying trend blindly. What that means is that you are just following trends because of, oh, this is what is trending in the design industry, I should also use it for this brand so people too can see me that yes, I can design what they're designing. No, you should always work with what fits the brands. Also have this in your mind: the logo is not for me, it's for the brand, not for me. It's for the client, it's not for me. So don't be I'll call it, don't be selfish while designing a logo. You get what I'm trying to say? Don't be selfish when designing a logo. Sorry, let me just check this out. So let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Another beginner mistake. We are in this section. We're in the beginner mistakes. Another beginner mistakes. Well, because we're wrapping this up right now, because I don't want this guys to sit 1 minute, because this is almost 10 o'clock, so you guys can go and sleep. Is that ignoring scalability. As I said earlier, I hope you guys are taking note of this class, because I don't want you to just sit down listen to this class randomly. Yes, some clients are actually hard to deal. That's why I said some clients are hard to deal. That's why I said, if you tell the client this does not work, this is what works, and they still insist that you should use that, then go ahead with their opinion. You get? I understand that some brands are very I've dealt with so many of them, so I'll always tell them this is what works. If they didn't agree, or if they didn't approve it, fine, I'll follow their own direction. You get? So the last mistakes that beginners do make, and I've been saying this right from when this class started: designing for yourself, not the brand. What this content means is that you are designing for yourself, not the brand. You are designing. Oh wow! If I do it like this, my portfolio will look more finer. My design will look more professional. I'll raise my shoulder among designers. Again, the logo is not for you. It's for the client. You get? It's for the client. Stop designing for yourself. Design for the brand. I hope all this I said in this class is clear to everyone, and everyone that is watching it. I hope you learned something from this class today. If you stay, someone just asked, how do you make brief and the questionnaires? If you stay to the end of the 7 day class, I'll be introducing a template for everyone, a template that people can you can follow. I'll be introducing a template you can follow. You get? I'm sorry, I'm reading someone's comments here. He said, let me just read it out for you guys. He said, Coach, please, I hope we will able to work. So yes, I if you read the flyer, or if you read the main motive of this my class, I say it's practical. So yes, there'll be an assignment throughout. There will be assignment throughout the class. You get? So from this today, I will make a post from this today, I'll make a post. I'll give you guys questions. You have to answer it, because again, I don't want unserious people in this class. I don't want you are just here for the fun. I want you to learn something from this class. You get. So I think we are done for today's class. I think we are done for today's class. Type in the comments what you learned today and screenshot it and send it to me. You can send it to me directly. If you're in class group, you can send it to me, or if you're following my page, my Facebook, you can send it to me. Anywhere you are, just send it to me. If it's to business, if it's to my DMs, or send the highlights of this class as I asked you earlier. So now type in the comment section what you learned from today's class. I know maybe you didn't learn everything, but type the key things that you learned from this class today. I hope this class was a wonderful session for you today, and I hope to see you tomorrow, and I hope that you be a very confident logo designer after this class. Lastly, someone just asked, I also want to address this. I also want to address this. This class, yes, this class is practical, but if you don't have a phone, or if you don't have a laptop, you can still join. You can still if you don't have a laptop, you can still join, because it's 30% of this class that is practical. You get what I'm trying to say? So the question is, I'm answering some questions from the this thing. My question is, can we get a PDF? This class PDF will be dropped in the group. So let me just wrap this up, because if you keep staying here, if you keep staying here, it will keep prolonging the class. The class is recorded. If this class ends, is recorded in my YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay tuned. You get what I'm trying to say? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and you can follow my other pages. All my pages online is Amazing Graphics. Just Instagram, anywhere is Amazing Graphics. So the recommended software for logo design, the industry standard for logo. This is what I mean. The industry standard for logo design is Illustrator, but that doesn't mean that you can't use other. The recommended class. Sorry, I'm breaking. The recommended soft Adobe Illustrator. You get, but that does not mean that other softwares can't design logo, because I actually made that post online. That does not mean other, because you are not defined by your software. You're defined by how you think, how you design. Put that in your mind. You are not defined by your software. You're you're not sorry, I'm breaking. You're not defined by your software. You're defined by how you design and how you think. So you hold that together. I think that will be the end of the class today. Today we covered the basics of logo design. Tomorrow we'll be covering another topic, but you have to be here to know what I'm covering tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to send me your highlights of today's class. We are ending the live now, so do have a lovely night. Take care. Do have a lovely night. Take care and sleep tight. Thank you. No. My classes, all my classes are 9 p.m. So we are going to be back here by 9 p.m. tomorrow, because most people are working, do work in the on daytime. Most people go to school, so 9 p.m. If you don't have Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop in your laptop, so do take care, everybody. Why have I not entered this class ever since? Do take care, everybody. Please send me your highlights of today's class. Take care, everybody. Do have a lovely do have a lovely night. Peace.